This is SportsCentre.
Hey, I'm Marissa Roberto on the Digital SportsCentre presented by Montanas BBQ and Bar. And the first round of the playoffs is well underway, and we've already seen some unexpected performances. So with no Canadian teams in action tonight, let's focus on our three biggest surprises of the playoffs so far. And we're going to start with the goalie who's struggling in a big way, and that is Connor Hellebuyck. After having one of the best regular seasons by goalie in recent memory, Hellebuyck has looked like a different player so far against St. Louis, and he's been pulled in back-to-back games. And interestingly enough, it doesn't appear like those struggles are coming from the guys in front of him, as the Jets have done a great job of shutting the Blues down by allowing the second fewest shots per game during these playoffs. But with Helly having by far the worst goal saved above expected this postseason, Winnipeg hasn't looked like the cup contenders they were expected to be. And it all starts with him. Don't worry, Jesse will be by later in the show to talk more Hellebuyck, but let's stay in the West with the Dallas Stars, who through 4 games are tied at 2 with Colorado. On the surface, not a crazy result, but how they've gotten here is pretty remarkable. Dallas is tied for last in goals per game these playoffs, and this stat is absolutely bonkers. They've only led Colorado for all of 62 seconds the entire series. Yet somehow this series is tied 2-2. What? Those numbers don't even compute. And as a Dallas fan, the roller coaster of emotions you must be going through is insane. It's also worth noting that the Stars have pulled this off while severely undermanned, as Jason Robertson and Miro Heiskanen have both missed the entire series with lower body injuries. And last but not least, we are heading to Toronto, where the Leafs have gotten some strong offensive support from their blue line. The Leafs D were not known as goal scorers in the regular season, but they've come alive in these playoffs, scoring a third of their goals against Ottawa, including the OT winner in Game 3. Yeah, I don't need to remind you of it, but we love a little OT win around here for the Leafs anyway. And the offense hasn't come at the expense of their defense, as all 6 of Toronto's defensemen have either an even or positive plus-minus. And as a team, they've allowed the 4th fewest goals this postseason. While it's still a small sample, this back-end production is definitely giving the Leafs an edge. But what do you think? What's your biggest surprise so far in these playoffs? Let us know. Time now for some Saucy Sounds presented by Montanas BBQ and Bar. And let's go to Edmonton, because this sound is extra saucy from Kings head coach Jim Hiller, who did not love this question following last night's loss to Edmonton, especially considering they blew a 2-goal lead and were 27 seconds away from a 3-1 series lead.
Jim, how do you change your approach in the third period to better close out games?
How do I change it? Next question, please. We're that far away on the empty net. Q chips that one out. Bouchard makes a good play. We're not even talking about this. So, how about that?
Sentiment in the room was that the first 40 minutes.
That's your favorite question, too, by the way. Maybe you got some ideas for me.
Oh man, he's got shade, he's got salt, he's got jokes. That was beautiful. Now joined by our guy Jesse Pollock from Winnipeg. Jesse, thanks for joining us after 2 straight Winnipeg losses.
Wow, what a nice greeting. Thanks, Risser.
Like I said, it's been 2 losses, but more importantly, it looks like playoff Hellebuyck is back, as he's been lit up the last 2 games. So what's going on with your goalie, bud?
Look, Helly obviously needs to be better, but I'm not pinning this all on him. I think that the Jets in front of Helly need to be better. We're allowing a lot of screens in front of him. He's not seeing a lot of pucks. You're seeing a lot of pucks bounce off of pants or shin pads into the net, a lot of tips. We need to box that out and get people out of Helly's kitchen. However, I will say this. These saves that Helly was usually making during the regular season, these ridiculous saves that were hitting off of shin pads and pants, just haven't been there. And we need Helly to step up in that sense. But I'm not just pinning it on Helly. As a team, we need to be better. We need to get to the Blues defensemen quicker. These are all things that the Jets need to do. 2 games to forget, but also learn from.
Okay, you'll be in the building for Game 5, so what's your confidence level looking like?
There's a lot of panic in Winnipeg right now. The Jets have not looked good the past 2 games. The Blues have looked really good. However, I want to remind everyone something. Neither team has lost at home yet, okay? The Blues just won their 14th straight home game, but the Jets have also been a very good home team. And we have home at least twice in the next 3 games. So I'm not panicking yet. I think when a team loses at home, that's when you really need to start panicking. But I do think that this is a very important game for the Jets to win, because going back to St. Louis, where they've been so hot at home, down 3-2 in this series would not be a great situation. But right now, I'm not sweating too hard.
Jesse Pollock, a pleasure as always, and maybe tone down the Leafs chirping, when your boys aren't even there yet.
You know what? I'm just going to say this. I haven't even been chirping the Leafs that hard. All I said is that it'd be really, really funny if they blew a 3-0 lead, and you have to admit, it would be funny. Thanks, Chris.
Yeah, really funny. Kind of almost as funny as if the President's Trophy winners lost in the first round. That's funny too. To the association, we got a huge one tonight. It's a massive Game 4 between the Rockets and Warriors. And if the Rockets are going to get into the series, tonight is a must-win. The biggest factor, though, is probably the health of Jimmy Butler, who's questionable for Game 4 with that pelvic injury. Butler missed Game 3, but that didn't seem to matter to the Warriors, as Steph Curry absolutely went off, dropping 36 on 12 of 23 shooting, including 5 of 13 from 3, and just a dime and 3 boards short of a triple-double. The problem for Houston in Game 3 was the same one it always is. No one can score. The Rockets' offense has only hit 100 points once in these playoffs, and their 95.7 points per game is the second worst in the postseason. They have the league's worst playoff field goal percentage and are 4th worst from 3. So yeah, if they're gonna have any shot in this thing, their offense needs to wake up. You can watch the Rockets and Warriors tonight on TSN at 10 Eastern, 7 Pacific. But before that, it's the Cavs and Heat at 7:30 Eastern, 4:30 Pacific. Time now for my favorite segment and yours that we love sports today.
Why we love sports today.
And let's go to the NHL and TNT panel, because anytime we're gonna get a Shaq Hyman cameo, you know we're gonna be about it.
What does Edmonton need? What do they need in a situation
I don't know
like
what
this?
could possibly say
I know that. I know that sound.
Oh my God! It's Shaq Hyman.
Shaq Hyman.
I'll tell you what they need. They need Shaq Hyman to come in and get to that. And they need Shaq Hyman to score. And then go to the coach and celebrate. And then look at a guy and take his mask off and want to fight. Shaq Hyman, where are you, baby? That's the sound of Shaq Hyman. Love you, coach.
Shaq Hyman, Jesus.
Yeah, remember that sound. Remember that sound, Shaq Hyman, baby.
Okay, all that is just confirming we need to see Shaq actually on skates. And has anybody checked in with Zach Hyman to see how he feels about this bit? That's every minute. We'll see you back here tomorrow 3 Eastern. No Pacific. Have a good one.